All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all Akim out there that's pushing this work in truth and in sincerity. You know, I'd like to get into a lesson today. And it's a pretty good lesson. It's called the Holy Chosen Seed Line. You know, so without further ado, I want to get into it. So really, it's about breaking down the bloodline of Abraham and how he got the blessing. So now, what I want to do, I want to start here at Genesis chapter 12, taking it from the top. It says, "And now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make thee a great nation, and will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing." You know, so Yahweh is telling him, he's going to make him a great nation. And Abraham have a great name because that's why I always say, I worship the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Okay, so he indeed have a great name. So verse 3, it says, "And I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." In thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So that's a cut to the gospel where it says all the families, all right? Because it's talking about all the families of that seed, all right? Which is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? Verse 4. So Abraham departed, and as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed Haran. So Abraham departed when he did what the Lord told him to do. So now what I want to do, I want to jump over, to chapter 13, Genesis chapter 13, and I'll pick it up at verse 15, right? It says, "For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever." So this is the angel of the Lord appeared unto Abraham again. So everything that Abraham could see at the time, that was going to be the land, which is the land of Canaan, which is the land of Yasharahla, Israel. All right? So let's read that again. All right? "For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed after thee." Okay? Seed, singular. All right? So to thy seed forever. All right? Now check this out. 16. "And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if thou can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered." All right? So the children of Israel cannot be numbered. So the children of Israel cannot be numbered. All right? You can, you can, you can't number the dust of the earth or the sand on the seashore. You cannot do that. All right? So now, what I want to do, I'm jump over to chapter 15 now. Chapter 15, and I'll pick it up at 13. It says, "And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So thy seed, which that anyway, I can leave that part. So thy seed, meaning this one particular seed of Abraham, one group of people, one world of people, one nation of people, is gonna be strangers in a land that is not theirs." So that's a cut as well to you people, to you niggas out there who trying to say the strangers is other people. Right? So, and we know that's talking about Egypt, you know. But then, hey, we in Egypt all over again. So basically, the prophecy is being fulfilled all over again. All right? And that's, let me get a quick precept not to go off too much. You know, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. You know, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. All right? So it's talking about that same seed line that came from Abraham. So basically, you know, we were sold as slaves. All right? So now, let's go back into the lesson, finish off the lesson now. I'm going to go into the book of Genesis once again, chapter 17, taking it from the top. You know, it says, and when Abram was 90, when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared unto Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Power, Alashadya, Alahayam. You know, walk before me and be thou perfect. You know, so the Lord appeared unto Abraham multiple times during his life, as we can see. You know, verse 2, it says, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. All right. So there's your multitude, your kindreds, your kinsmen, your families of the earth. So this is the covenant between Abraham and the Most High Yahweh. Okay, so the promises is given to Abraham from the Most High Yahweh. All right. And Abraham fell on his face, and the Most High talked with him, saying, right? Saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Right? So he said, a father of many nations. He also said that Abraham would be a great nation. You know, a father of a great nation. Also, he would have a great name. All right? So with many nations, that would mean there are many seeds. But the covenant is given, you know, to a particular seed. All right? Let's jump to verse 6. You know, it says, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Right? So it said, I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. That's speaking about Israel. All right? That's why it says we can be measured nor numbered as the dust of the earth and the sand on the seashore. All right? Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Right? So the Most High is saying, I will establish my covenant between me and thy seed, between me and thee and thy seed, singular. All right? So it's obviously who the covenant was going to be given, was going to be passed down through, because you had Abraham, and the Lord tested his faith by what? Telling him to sacrifice his only begotten son. Right? Now we know through the Spirit that that's Isaac, and Isaac is Yahweh Shai. Well, I would love to do a lesson on that another time. All right, or a little later down. Because remember, when Abraham was taking Isaac to sacrifice him, Isaac said, Father, where's the lamb? You know, so it was symbolic, all right? So that shows you that the covenant came through the seed of Isaac, all right? Verse 8, it says, and I will give unto thee, unto thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And the Most High said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. All right? This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. So, not only being circumcised in the flesh, but also in the spirit. Our Israelite brothers out here, is corrupted. All right? They corrupted bad, and they don't even know that they're Israelites. All right? So, he said, continue the covenant to thy seed, and thy seed seed, and thy seed seed, and thy seed seed. All right? You know? Now, notice, he didn't say to teach the other nations. All right? It didn't say that. So now, I want to jump to the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and 6. Right? It says, moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. Right? Which you hear this multiple times throughout the scriptures. So basically, the more you hear something, the better you should be at it. All right? So now let's jump to verse 15. All right? And the Most High said, moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh, power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever. This is my memorial unto all generations. So his name is in Jehovah, his name is in God. All right? When you look Lord up there, as you can see all caps, it's Yahweh. All right? So now what I want to do, I want to keep going. Let's go into the book of Psalms now. Let's bear with me there. Psalms 105. I'll pick it up at verse 6. Psalms 105 and 6. It says, O ye seed of Abraham his servant, ye children of Jacob his chosen. Qam. Right? So the seed of Abraham is the Lord's servant. So only the elect is serving Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai right now. The hopeful elect, Lord willing, and hopefully I'm a part of that. Verse 7. He is the Lord, he is Yahweh our power. His judgments are in all the earth. All right? Because Israel is scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth. Also, we are the salt of the earth. All right? He had remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and an oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, unto Israel for an everlasting covenant. Qam. Right? So the covenant is to Israel. All right? But you Israelites want to damn give that away. You all want to give that away, saying everybody can be saved. 11. Saying, unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. When they were but a few men in number, yea, very few, and strangers in it. When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved king for their sake, saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Qam. You know, he shall not back thy teachers into a corner. All right. So he's gonna protect the true prophets. All right. That's out there pushing this truth 100%. All right? Moving along. Let's go to the book of Isaiah now, chapter 41, verse 8. It says, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I've chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend." All right? That's really the main reason why we have the covenant, because of that bond that was built, not because, not only because Noah, you know, but also with Abraham. All right? Now let's go into the book of Acts, you know, chapter 3, verse 25. It says, "Ye are the children of the prophets and of the covenant which the Most High made with our fathers, saying unto Abraham, and in thy seed shall all the kindreds of the earth be blessed." You see how this is all saying the same thing? This is all saying the same thing. So ye are the children of the prophets, which is why he said, don't touch my prophets. All right? So now what this? "And in thy seed shall all the kindreds of the earth be blessed." All right? And the kindred right there is family. So who's the seed of Abraham? Because the covenant went from Abraham to Isaac and then to Jacob and then on to Jacob, 12 sons, which is the 12 tribes, you know? And this word right here, kindred, when you look the word kindred up in Greek, it's patria, which means a group of people that goes back to the same source. Khan. So these are the same people. All right? And this is what Paul and Peter and the rest, the 12 is saying. They're speaking about the same people, not the actual damn Gentiles. All right? 26. "Unto you first, the Most High, having raised up his son Yahushai, sent him to bless you in turning away every one of you from his iniquities." All right? So now, let's jump to the book of Romans, chapter 4. Pick it up at verse 13. Check this out. "For the promise that he should not be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith." All right? So it wasn't to Abraham because of the law. So remember, the law was written down as far as in stones. So it's basically because of faith. Once again, what was instructed, what Abraham was instructed to do with Isaac, huh? To sacrifice his son. All right. So now let's jump down to verse 16. Romans 4 and 16. It says, "Therefore it is of faith, that it might be by grace, to the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the law, but also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all." Right? So therefore it is of faith, that it might be by grace. That's why we say Lord willing, because we hope to the end, the promise might be sure to all the seed, huh? And not to that only which is of the law, because through the law we all should have been dead. All right? But to that also which is of faith of Abraham, you know. So that's how this thing got started. All right? That's how this thing got started. So now let's go, because I always like to go here. This have to come out. This is Romans 9 and 4. It says, "Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of the Most High, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, God bless forever. Amen." Right? 6. "Not as though the word of God had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel." You see what I said? So that's why you have the 2/3. All right? That's why you have the 2/3. You know, verse 7. Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, they are all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And that's a cut, all right? Because it says, in Isaac shall thy seed be called, all right? Verse 8. That is they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of God, but the children of promise are counted for the seed. Khan, right? Which that goes back to Romans 3 and 4, who are Israelites. All right? So, man, look, let's get some more on that, man. Let's get some more in the spirit right now. You know, Romans 11 and 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So Paul broke it down again. Huh? And who's the seed of Abraham? Huh? Isaac, then to Jacob. You know, then to Jacob 12 sons. All right? Had God cast away his people which he foreknew? Won't ye not that the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, but they seek my life? But what said the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. Right? Which proves the 2/3. Yeah? So I don't know why they're gonna come up against his truth. See what I said? But guess what? There was a day to come up against his truth. Alright? Let's finish adding more insult to injury. Alright? Finish adding more insult to injury. You know? 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 22. Right? Paul is saying, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Huh? So they're Israelites who Paul was sent to, not no damn actual heathens. Alright? Because when you look that word Gentile up, it simply means nations. Alright? And what separates us from the other nations? The Lord gave us laws. Verse 23. Are they ministers of Hamashiach? I speak as a fool. I more, in labors more abundant, in stripes above measures, in prisons more frequent, in debts often. Alright? So now this is Paul, and he's saying he speak as a man. But in the spirit, he say he's the least. Huh? But also going back, he says he's a Hebrew and an Israelite. So you have to be a Hebrew Israelite through the seed of Abraham. How simple is that? Yeah? How simple is that? You know? Now let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 3. Pick it up at 16. What is now? What is? Huh? Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, unto thy seed, which is Hamashiach. Right? Which seed is singular. Which that seed is Isaac. Alright? And which is Hamashiach, which proves to you that the one who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, he was also Adam. He was also Adam and he was also Isaac. Alright? Which I'll do a lesson on that shortly. Alright? I'm going to read this again. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is a Mashiach, right? Which proves Isaac is Yahushai, like I said, right? So now, what I want to do, I want to jump down to the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and pick it up at verse 14. You know, it says, "For as much as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same through death he might destroy him that had power over death, that is the devil." All right, you know, and that is talking about Yahushai. 15, and delivered them through the true fear of death, we all their lifetime subject to bondage. All right, meaning the Israelites in slavery from in Egypt up till now, all their lifetime was subject to bondage, subject to slavery, and that proved that those fake Jews over there in the land of Israel, those Khazars, those Gadarats, they're not subject to bondage because they own everything. Because the scripture says Israel has always been in subject to bondage. All right? Now check this out now, and this also cut the virgin birth right here as well. Verily, he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham, which means Mary and Joseph had sex. Which proves that there's no virgin birth, you know. And that virgin birth isn't accurate because, like I say, the scripture says, you know, he came through the seed of Joseph. And who is the seed of Joseph? Abraham. All right. So I hope that you brothers and few sisters out there were edified. You know. So I want to say all praises is due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. Shalom.